So today I went to work and we just took some stuff out to the scrapyard and then I went back home. But when we went out to the scrapyard, there was like a crane like in the back, like in the back of it, like in the back of the scrapyard. There's a crane, and then like toward the front of the scrapyard, there's another crane. And the one, like they're both lifting up at the same time as we drive into the scrapyard. And the one like close to me is lifting a white truck off of a trailer, and the trailer is a green truck pulling the trailer, and the trailer has a 33 license plate. So it's just pulling this white truck off the trailer right when I pull up, and the other crane is pulling up at the same time behind it. And then like when we pull up and park, there's a like the green truck leaves, and then when we pull up and park, like as we're pulling in, the green truck leaves, and then when we pull up and park, there's a blue truck leaving with a red trailer, and the trailer has a 64 license plate, and it's uh it's like a back of a car cut out, like type of trailer like that. Like it's like an old car that they turned into a trailer, like one of those types of trailers. So it's like a blue truck with a red trailer with a 64 license plate on the trailer, and it's leaving right when we park. And then when we're leaving, there's a red truck with a blue trailer that's like the same type of trailer. So there's a blue truck with a red trailer, and then a red truck with a blue trailer, like in and out. And like when we're leaving, like after we dump the shit, like I see the red truck with the blue trailer. And then like on the way home, I didn't see him pull up synced, but like as I drive through this intersection, there's an ambulance at the front of the traffic on one side, and there's a mail truck at the front of the traffic on the other side, and Whitey's next to both of them. So it's just like on the left side there's an ambulance, on the right side there's a mail truck as I drive through the intersection at the front of the traffic. And then when I got home, there's a UPS pulling up when I got out of the car, and then there's a Whitey truck driving behind me when I went in the door of my apartment. And then there's a mail truck pulling up and parking right now. It's probably synchronized with me finishing my story of getting home. Or synchronized with cars at least or something. And then, like I said last night, I saw this cop, and I'm just standing outside, and I see these people crossing the street, and then this cop is like waiting for them to cross the street, and he's just like stopped right in front of me on the street. There's another car taking off at the same time. And they'll always do that. There will be a stalker crossing the street, and a car is waiting for them to cross the street, or waiting for another car to pull off, or whatever. And they'll just like stop, like next to me on the sidewalk, or right in front of me if I'm sitting there or standing there or whatever. So I saw that on that video this morning. Like a car was doing that, stopped next to me on the sidewalk. I think it was waiting for another car to pull off. So it's either they're waiting for another car to pull off, or they're waiting for someone that's walking up sync, walking across the street. I just see it all the time. Cars will just stop next to me to wait for another stalker to cross. And then, like I said, I was at my grandma's house yesterday, and her dog was just like, oh, 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 and just like doing like the fake yawn, like the nervous yawn thing, where it's like, ah! It's just making all these weird sounds like that. My grandma's like, she only does that when you're here. And I'm like, oh, really? Her dogs are always synchronized. Like, they're always, like, barking synchronized. They're always running around synchronized. So I don't know if that was a synchronizer thing. Her dog just making all these weird sounds and shit. I don't know. But my grandma said that, though. So it was like, uh, like I said, all the time when I'm getting a ride from someone who's a synchronizer, which is anytime I'm getting a ride from somebody, they're a synchronizer. Like if I call an Uber or a taxi, it's gonna be a synchronizer. If I call a telelift, it's definitely gonna be a synchronizer. If I call a taxi, it's definitely gonna be a synchronizer. Maybe an Uber is my only hope. I don't know. It's probably gonna be a synchronizer though. But like they'll be like a synchronizer and they'll be like acting like they're like annoyed at the traffic. Like another synchronizer car pulls up and cuts us off and they're like, oh, these people drive like idiots or whatever. It's like, yeah, dude, I agree. You're right. Like, they're just always doing that. They're just always like, oh. But then they're like speeding up to meet cars at intersections and stuff. Like, they're like stepping on the gas to meet cars at intersections. And they're like hitting their brakes synced and stuff, hitting their turn signal synced. And all that shit. I see a FedEx. He looks synced with these other cars. It's raining a lot. Am I gonna get synced lightning and thunder today? I don't know if there's gonna be lightning and thunder, but maybe the rain will sync. Maybe a raindrop will land on my head synced. Some shit. And then also yesterday at my grandma's house, there was a bunch of jets flying over my head, like I said. There's just like, at seemingly synced up moments, like I was outside, and at seemingly synced up moments, there was jets flying over my head. Like most of the time, it was at a synced up moment, it seemed. And it seemed like they were all over my head, except I only saw like a couple of them, but it sounded like they were all over my head. And they just kept, it's like there's not usually that many jets flying over like that. It was just like a lot of jets flying over. It was like 10 of them at least. So and then this morning at the grocery store, on that video, the guy's jingling his keys synced when I come in, and then he's jingling his keys when I go around the back, and then the thing beeps. That's always beeping synced, like at the same time. Or like he jingles his keys, and then like right after, it's like beep. It's always beeping synced, and you can hear it on the video. It's always beeping synced, like 98% of the time at least. And then the other times it's questionable, but it's probably synced too. Probably like synced with me walking by. Like it beeped when I walked by the bathroom door this morning. I don't know if it was synced with that. I think it was synced with that though. But the other time it beeped, it was definitely synced. Before that, it was synced. And then the other day, I saw this guy, like I'm walking across the street. This guy is just like fumbling with his keys in his pocket. Like he can't find his keys in his pocket. He just like keeps digging in his pocket as I'm crossing the street. And he like keeps looking over at me too, so like I know he's about to do a synchronizer. But like he just keeps digging in his pocket, and then like right when I get across the street, like next to him, he pulls his keys out, and then right when I walk by him, he opens the door and goes in. He was doing that like the whole time I was crossing the street. He was just standing there. He was like, damn, dude. You need help? Nah, it's kind of gay. I'm not gonna reach in your pocket. Like, how long does it take that guy to tie his shoes? He just sits there for like 20 minutes, just like holding the shoelaces. Just like, I can't do it. People just be hopelessly stock-tarded out here, man. They're just like, oh, I have to lock my car 20 times. It's not locked. Honk, 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 honk. It's still not locked. Oh, no. Surrounded by stock-tards. There's one of the Norfolk maintenance trucks is pulling up and parking right in front of the intersection. Is a car gonna drive out when he gets out of the truck through the intersection? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen when he gets out of the Norfolk sync truck? It's always sync every time I see one. If you don't already know, go check out my video list of things that are always synced every time I see one. It's got like SpongeBob thumbnail, and he's got the list. And it's like the updated list of things that I synced every time I see them. Go watch that video. It's a list of things I see every time I see them. They're always synced. It's like 50 different things at least. Like 60 different things at least. It's just like different vehicles that are always synced every time I see them. Every time, every video. 2,000 plus videos straight. Every time. So the Norfolk maintenance trucks, that's one of those. And he's still just sitting there. Just sitting there. Parked, waiting for something. Waiting for another maintenance truck to pull up or something. There's a whitey driving out of the parking lot. He looks synced with this other car driving behind the corner of the building. There's another whitey driving out of the parking lot. A white SUV with the white truck driving out of the parking lot. the whitey maintenance truck is taking off again with the whiteys going around the corners. He just sat there on the side of the street and then he took off again when the whiteys drove around the corner simultaneous. He just sat there and did nothing and sat there and then took off again. So, I don't know what else to say. My neighbor's toilet was synchronizing this morning. My other neighbor, he was like walking in, like when I got back from the grocery store, he was walking in the door. And when I walked in, like he's walking in the door of his apartment next to me. And then like when I got back from work, he's walking out the door of his apartment next to me. My other neighbor's toilet was synchronizing this morning, like a few times. It's flushing synchronized. Been getting a lot of frequency shot in my ears lately. So I'll be back soon to talk about the siren rituals or whatever they did, or the train horns probably. So stay tuned. I'll probably be back soon. I don't know what else to say right now. I think I don't know. There might be sync thunder lightning soon, like I said. Like right when I end the video, there might be. It's possible. It's a possibility. Anything crazy happened with videos this morning? Let me think. I don't know. The heater on my wall was click synced a minute ago. My toilet was trolling me this morning. It was just like not flushing, and then it was not flushing the other night, but like this morning it was just like staying on for a long time. Like after you flush it, and I'm like waiting to flush it again, and it's just staying on for a long time. It's just always trolling me like that. And then sometimes it'll just turn off right away. Like that's the amount of time that's supposed to turn off. There's a car with a dim light. I think he probably synchronized with cars when he drove out. There's cars that are synchronized right now. Oh yeah, there was dogs barking synced on that video this morning. I think on both videos this morning, or like the early morning ones. And then, because I made 3 videos this morning. But then, yeah, there's dogs barking synced, and there's a truck beeping synced a bunch of times. But yeah, this one time I came, like the other day, I came out, like I walked out. I'm gonna draw it out so I can explain it. Alright, so here's the intersection, right? And here's the Catholic church parking lot right here, right? So this garbage truck pulls up, Catholic church parking lot. I'm walking up the street and I'm turning at this intersection onto this street. I'm across the street, and then I'm across the street over here from the parking lot, right? So the garbage truck pulls up as I'm walking by. It's like 6:30 a.m. or whatever. It's dark outside. There's nobody in the parking lot, but the garbage truck pulls up and honks right when it's across the street from me in the parking lot. pulls up, stops, and honks. And then I walk up here, I turn here, and then when he's across the street from me here, he's like pulling up and dumping the dumpster next to me. So like that happened the other day. And the garbage trucks are like always stalking me every day. Or like every morning, if I go out in the morning, like early morning, there'll be a garbage truck stalking me 90% of the time. And sometimes it'll just follow me, like the same garbage truck will follow me to a bunch of different places, dump a bunch of different dumpsters synchronized. Or like drive up the street, drive back the other way, synced, or whatever. There's a sink van pulling up right now. It's synced again. He's gonna sink. He's syncing with another whitey. He's syncing with two whiteys, and there's a frequency in my ear right now as he's parking next to me. So that's what's going on out here. I think that's the end of the video. I've been rewatching Deadpool, the first one. I like it better than the third one, I think. Third one, Deadpool, Wolverine, It's okay. It's alright, but like, It's just not as good as the first two. I mean, like, it has its moments, you know, but like, There's a lot of pedophile jokes in it. Like, a lot of weird pedophile jokes. Like, Ryan Reynolds is like sitting next to these kids in the back seat, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't have a lot of vaginal sex," or whatever the fuck. So, I've been seeing a lot of red cars lately. I see red cars right now. That's why I'm saying that. Seems like there's been a lot more red cars lately. And then there's a lot of red and blue sinks with the red cars usually, but I've been seeing a lot of red cars syncing up with other red cars. Like a lot of them. Just like a bunch of red cars all pulling up at once a bunch of times. So it's always fluctuating. So like it's gonna be red cars for a while, and then it's gonna be green cars, or it's gonna be blue cars, or they're gonna sensitize yellow cars on me now, or they're gonna sensitize fucking some new color that doesn't exist yet. I see like camo cars sometimes that like everyone that I've seen looks synchronized, like it's a camo, like painted camo. So I've seen like a few of those like occasionally lately. Or like the other day at work, there was just a camo van. Like I'm leaving a delivery that's out in the country, and then like when I get to the end of the road, like coming back, I get to the end of the road that intersects with like the highway to go back into town. Like when I get to that intersection, there's a camo van just sitting on the side of the street across the street from me. But like nobody's in it, it's just sitting there. Like turned off, you know? but like it's just right in front of me when I pull up. I don't think it was there when we were going there. I don't remember seeing it when we were going there. I think they parked it there for me to see, to pull up to sync. So I'll be back to talk about more sync things later. Later.